Hi, I'm Samantha of Goddess Awakening. I'm here to hold a safe space and share with you the true and authentic stories of how we got here. Empowering women, elevating for all. All right, welcome to another episode of the Goddess Awakening podcast. It is February 27th, 8th. I don't know what day it is, but it's the end of February. And it is currently 90 degrees in Oklahoma City. I just had to say that because it is hot outside. I have a guest here from Wichita, Kansas. Hello.
Hello.
How's the weather there for you guys?
Nothing like that, though. I think we're only maybe sitting at right at 80, but still, it just feels pretty intense.
Yes. So weird weather. Looks like chance of tornado this week, but I'll be headed to Germany tomorrow, so someone else can deal with the tornadoes. And you just got back from a pretty cool trip too, right?
I did. We went to the Honduras and did 8 days, half of them in the jungle and then half of them on an island. And we got to take scooters and just explore the whole island and did a lot of swimming and jungle hiking. Pretty much rejuvenated my soul. It's what I needed. I give so much of myself away on the daily, being somebody that hosts so many gatherings. So it was time. Travel fills me up all the time. So
yes, I love traveling, especially when it's just a vacation trip. There's no real agenda.
That's what we needed. I was like, besides knowing like where we're going to go and like a general idea, like we just let the days take us. And it was a really good time. We did some snorkeling and two of the nights it rained more than I've ever seen in my whole life in the jungle. And it made the waterfalls like really powerful and crazy, and the rivers just started rushing, and it added an element that was really cool. There was a landslide that blocked us in, and just adventure.
Just normal things. It looked awesome. Yeah. How far of a flight is that?
Honestly, not too bad. So I think like maybe an hour and a half to Houston, and then it was a real fast connection flight. Had like 50 minutes to get to that flight. And then that only took like maybe 2.5 hours. So it's
nice.
Still, honestly, for where it takes you.
And you guys did that kind of on a whim, right?
Yep. Like we knew we've always had like on our bucket list as a country a year. But when tribal roots started becoming a thing and then COVID hit and blah, 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 it was just like we ended up having like a couple startup businesses and all stemming from tribal roots. But anyways, it became all consuming, trying to get everything flowing again and live like a whole new lifestyle, basically a lifestyle change from food trucking. But so, yeah, we got through all that and we were like, I kind of feel like it's time where we can start doing this for ourselves again. And Shay was like, well, it's February, which is always when we go do that. And I was like, yeah, like let's do it again. So we did.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I saw him post like asking a couple questions, and then next thing I knew, you guys were there. I was like, wow, I love that.
Why waste any time?
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's talk about tribal roots. What is tribal roots for those who do not know?
It started as a sound camp or at our local burn as treehouse camp. Shay and I and a couple of us have been burners for well over 10 years now. But we just got real inspired through Burning Man. The 8 different times we went, you just come back with all this, like, I don't know, just all this creativity inside you, and you want to share it with other people. And, you want to take your whole city and take it to the playa and be like, look at this, but it don't work that way. So we brought it back with us. And our local burn was a way, it's called Resonance, but it was a way for us to get that energy out. So we would come home, it was a month after the burn, and we would just pour ourselves into our own art. And Shay's always loved sound, and music's what we've always gathered around, and dancing's my thing. So we just started, I don't know, it just kind of built organically over the last decade, but we kind of got to a point where we weren't really connecting with the local burn community anymore. There was a lot of limitations on who we were and what our creative voice is and what they would allow, be it lasers or louder sound. And if you know us, we're just loud people. So we decided to just take that we just met our limitations within that community at the time. Started having a lot of struggles with it all, but so we decided to get a warehouse because we were filling our garages. That was pouring out into our yards. I mean, our house looked like a festival. It had a house set up and just all the things, and we were testing music all the time. And we had a cop that lives 2 houses over, and he started coming over because he would hear the music, and we were like, okay, I think we've outgrown this spot. And so got the warehouse, but we needed it to pay for itself because it's all hobby. I mean, we weren't getting into it for money. And split it up between 6 of us. And in the burner community, it's gift culture, and it's no commodity, or, you can't take what you take there and go make money from that in the default world. So we had to change the name up from Treehouse Camp. That's our burner names. But in the world that we're actually like charging tickets and stuff, we changed our name to Tribal Roots in that transition. And that's just the business name of it. But I don't even know how you say business. LLC doesn't belong at the end of Tribal Roots. That part, you know what I mean? But business, we had to turn it into that. So I don't know, just kind of was something that built organically, and the 6 of us that are a part of it are the 4 that just seen it becoming something and wanted to keep taking it further and further. And then all of our little businesses from there just kind of stemmed up to provide all the services we needed to host the gatherings. And here we are, just one thing after another.
Selling out shows.
Yeah, we look back and think it's been such a long haul, but honestly, in the bigger picture of it all, like from the moment we decided to get serious about it and say, hey, this has to pay the bills, it's been maybe 4 or 5 years. I'd say that's pretty awesome. It took us some time to get a good reputation for Wichita because not a lot of artists seen the value in this community here yet. The production level wasn't quite really what a lot of them were asking for before this. So we had to prove where we were at, and especially with a smaller capacity. They're like small capacity, and they think, not a lot of big sound systems and quality production. So it took a little bit to get respect on the scene, but I think we might have arrived a bit. We get a lot.
Yes, I'd say so.
Yeah. We get so much. It's actually crazy. We get so much amazing feedback from the DJs about how it's just one of their favorite places to play, and they just can't believe it. It's right here in Wichita, Kansas. You come through that gray door, and it just takes you to a whole new world on the other side of it. So
yeah. So how many seasons have you guys had the warehouse?
Let's see. We got it. I think we signed the contract in 2019. And our idea was we were going to just throw rent parties and cover the cost of the bills, and that was it. And then the rest we would just kick it. But the city didn't see it that way, and they stopped us. Let's see. We got a few rent parties in, and they said you have to be permitted appropriately. This building has to be changed to the right occupancy. And so they actually gave us a few more shows to get done. And then they shut us down for 6 months that's how long it took us to get everything up to code and the way it needed to be. And then COVID hit as soon as we did get it up to code. And so
of course
it's got scaled back, and we can only host like 40 something people or something like that. Just some weird times to come into. So we've had it since 2019, but we haven't really been able to, maximize the space, but for a handful of years, maybe 2021 to now.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been a lot of growth very quickly.
Yeah. It took some survival, but we kind of built that into the concept from the beginning. It's like none of us wanted to take all the risk by ourselves. Like we felt it was way too volatile for that. We didn't want it to feel that way. Over our heads every day you wake up having to meet the bills and this show this, or we're not going to be able to do that, or we didn't want those feelings looming over us around music. So we make our money off other things on the outside of Tribal Roots, and we're just letting that kind of grow as it needs to build the intention behind it that it needs to be. If your intention is just selling tickets, that's easy to do. You open it up and you shout to the world like, hey, come see all this cool stuff. But the reality is, it's like, we don't want the club scene in our, don't want just random people that have no appreciation for what it is. So we've just exceptionally curated this slowly as we could, and making sure that the people coming through those doors, you don't have to be, a part of the scene yet or a part of the community, but you just have to have a respect for what it is going on. And that's a slow build. That's nothing you have to sit around and, depend on ticket sales for. You just can't. So I don't know, pretty happy with where it's at. I feel this year, 2024, something just shifted, and we felt it right at the beginning. Like, we're able to build, I don't want to say better lineups, because everybody we've had through our doors have been all of our favorite artists, amazing artists. But some people know names, you know what I mean? Pull some of those names that get people's attention on you to begin with. It's like, it's a hard push. So I think we've finally got there where some of these artists are turning their heads our way and willing to work with us and come be a part of the magic that small capacity events have to offer that you won't gain from the big festival life. I love the grandeur of big festivals, but there is something to be said about taking those moments that are so amazing and just putting them in a smaller space and connecting on that level. And I think people are getting an appreciation for it.
Yeah, definitely. And what is the capacity there?
It's been 378 up till now. So it's at 378, but it could be bigger if we could get, like, what do they call it? Like this, I'm tired from the weekend. That was a lot of hosting. It could be bigger if we got this alarm system that would cost us like $10,000. The space holds a lot more. So that's why when people come in and they feel like, oh, wow, there's so much room here. It's like, we could, if we had all that money, to put more into the building, but we don't. So,
right.
It's in 3, it stands right about that. So.
And it's like, you have to get your ticket. Otherwise you can't be one of those 378
right.
people. Cause that's a big reason that I like going to that space. And there's lots of reasons, obviously, but it's like, it never feels like overwhelming and overcrowded. And that's how I typically feel when I'm going out to like shows in Oklahoma City, for example. Like, I've gone to so many venues that I'm like uncomfortable because I feel so like squished in with these sold out shows. And it's like, I don't love that feeling either. So I think you guys have like a really good thing going. And if people don't buy their ticket early enough, then they're just going to have to catch the next one.
First, I think that, that limitation will actually create maybe even a bigger demand here soon. As shows start selling out and people know they have to get them. It's like, oh, I'm part of the few hundred that get in on this experience. And I'm the same way. I like room to move. I like room to dance. The packed things give me anxiety. I think that does for a lot of people. I think we have anxiety that's largely socially awkward or have a lot of social anxieties. And I feel that our space is very welcoming to that, because you can go get up in it. But at the same time, we have so many chill spaces set around everywhere and find whatever level of comfort they're at. And generally they find themselves eventually able to just like get up in the mix and be comfortable, being so close to people, but there's options.
Right. Yeah. That's what I love about it too. Because it's like, you can be in there dancing and then you can back up and you can sit on the couch. They've got like all kinds of couches and tables and space to sit down. You guys have art installations and artists that are live painting and vendors that are in there. So there's other things that are going on, even besides just the music. So if you are feeling like overstimulated or you need a break to like back it up, there's plenty of things to do, like you said.
For sure. And that's a lot of how Burning Man's trained us too. It's just like, I get bored, I guess, pretty easily. So does Shay. So that place has a million things going on all at once, and you're just zooming around all over and, all the shiny things. So we have made sure to build that into this experience as well. It's like, it's just more than the music. And I don't think people understand that till they come into the space. It's like, it's just art. It's the expression of all art forms. And it's like live art. It's unfolding before your eyes. So be it the VJs or the DJs or literally the live painters, or, we had wood burners and just different forms of art. All the flow, we allow people to do flow in the warehouse. I know a lot of spaces don't allow people to bring their toys in and take space, but that's the beauty of the warehouse, is we have the space for people to take up. So even the flow community gets to do things they might not get to do in some other venues. So there's a lot to keep people's attention, entertained.
Yes. And those, I don't even know what they're called. They're like the dance things. People dance in front of them, the lights.
Boxes?
Yes, the shadow box. Okay. Those are always fun to watch people on there too.
Super fun. And those are something we've carried with us since our Burning Man camp, because there's just this thing that all of us, well, not all of us, but a lot of people, they have a hard time getting out of their heads when it comes to dancing. And something about those shadow boxes lets them see themselves without seeing themselves. And it's almost like wearing a mask to everybody else around you. So it's you and your shadow, and you get to see how you move. And it's fun seeing people, just like have that realization when they get up there. And it's fun. It's like seeing the inner child come back out. It's like, oh, I can do this. Look how cool I look, And you do. Everybody looks cool. It's like whether you're being silly with them or whether you're being serious, or groups of people go up. It's just like people have so much fun in those boxes. And it's one of my favorite pastimes on hosting camp.
Yeah. I love watching. It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Grab a table and you get the music, and then you also get the dancers. It's a good spot.
And both sides are cool. Like the side where you get to actually see them, and the side that's the shadow where all you get to see is them behind the screen. It's cool to see both sides go on. So yeah, those are real fun.
Yes, I love those. So when you're not doing the warehouse, and when does the warehouse close for the season?
We get about 6 months, and the reason is because it's not temperature controlled with AC, only heat. So we make it from about October to May. And then during the off season, it kind of works because as soon as festival season hits, events just don't do good. Everybody is all over traveling to all these festivals. So since we have the production company as one of the side businesses that grew from hosting Tribal Roots, we just take all the production on the road and do staging for festivals. And also, Shay and I kind of have our hands in all the little businesses. But we also have the restroom business, which Marcus and Akela, they handled a lot of that last year during that season because we are on the road. But when we're here, we're helping on that business when we need to. And Kind Cravings is another thing that we have. That was the food truck, but until we can get a venue where we feel like investing in a commercial kitchen and are able to be open year round, I would love to do food again, but for now it's just a liquor catering business, and we're able to provide a bar for Tribal Roots events with that. And I would do that more throughout the year too, but we just haven't grown that one into anything more than just doing it for Tribal Roots. But we would, there's only so much time in the day. If you're on the road, you can't do that. So yeah, we do it all. Festival, everything, anything you would need to basically host an event, and it's all mobile is what we do. Restrooms, liquor, all of it.
Yeah, you guys have a little bit of everything, it seems.
Yeah, it kind of helps keep things not so stressful, because relying on one income, again, goes back to just how scary that is. We have to sell these tickets, but it's no, we have income coming from all these different streams. So this one could not do as good during this time, and this one, might pick up the slack. So that just kind of helps us stay a little less stressed with it. It's a super stressful industry. In all honesty.
Yes, it is. Yep. I'm only baby way into it myself. since this will be year 2 of my festival. And yeah, it's a scary thing. And I was talking to someone about this just yesterday, actually, and it was like she actually has a catering business, a liquor business, she owns a bunch of tour buses, her and her husband do. So they kind of have their hands in a few different things. And it's like successful millionaires say to have your hand in like 7 different ways that money's coming to you.
Yeah.
So like that's the goal, is eventually having 7 different ways where there's just like income flowing. And then like you said, you don't have to be worried about, oh, I have to sell this many tickets, otherwise I'm screwed. Because that is scary. And I know what that feels like, because you want to pay the bills, and you have to pay the people that you're hiring, which you guys are at a point where you can do so much on your own now. So that's obviously, a big goal for a lot of people in this industry, where it's like you want to be self-sufficient, but you also want to have people that, and can trust, that you can work with. So as far as like you and your friends and business wise, like how has that gone as far as like owning and working on businesses together?
Honestly, if it were just, I don't know. I don't know the word to call. I don't want to say normal friends. If it were just other friendships I had growing up, I wouldn't go into business. But these friendships were very well curated, like intentional. Growing up, I didn't like specifically go choose people. There was a time in my life, it was just like whoever was around me, that's who you make friendships with. But there came a time in my life where I had an awakening, and who I was, I shifted a lot and changed and grew as a person. And I had to walk away from a lot of things I was doing, a lot of life choices I was making, in order to become the person I wanted to be. And just on the other side of that was kind of an empty, lonely feeling. As Shay and I did that together. It's just kind of like, not that we were leaving everybody behind, but sometimes there's just this realization not everybody's going to come with you where you're going next, And so we were facing that. And in that time, we figured out who we were and started making life choices that would align with what we wanted to be, and started to attracting certain people into our lives from there. And then we nourished or nurtured those friendships to the best of our abilities. And that grew into just like this incredibly rich circle of friends that, we're not just friends. We coexist together every day in ways that are like legitly family. We get together and make meals all the time together. We go chase life and happiness together and make sure we're always having fun. We travel. We have the hard talks. We just do all the things that I feel creates a bond that's kind of undeniable. That like, then the work came in. Like, then it was like, well, and this is where it gets like, it's not an LLC, but that's the label they want to put on things. So it gets hard to explain to people how it's like, we're not in business together. We're doing what we love together. Government makes us file an LLC with all the taxes and all the shit that gets that like misconstrued from what it really is. It's still just friends doing what friends do. And yes, we tackle a lot of stress together because we have turned it into directly related to our lifeline, right? Our futures and how we're applying our labor, which is very limited in life. We only have so many hours in our life to get to where we need to be. And we're depending on each other to get to that point. And it's gone great, honestly. I've had my frustrations, and we have some pretty big hiccups. This last year was really tough on a handful of friendships within the crew, and we're working through some things, but we're willing to. We show up and we keep working through them. We're not perfect, and everybody's having, their highs and their lows, and we just keep showing up for each other, and we just keep staying as honest as we can. And even when we falter, we still show up. And it goes okay as long as you do that, and stay committed to being our best selves. So having people that I love so much as my work partners, they make me grow in ways because I want to be the best person for them that I can be. And I hope they want to do that for me. And it just creates even stronger friendships, honestly, over time. There's areas that we all could grow, but we're just willing to. And it's so far so good.
That's very inspiring, because I will share that that's been a goal of mine for a very long time, that, me and my best group of friends can create these businesses. Like, I know what you say, it's even weird calling, like, Goddess Awakening, calling it a business. I'm like, ew, like, I don't know why that's weird. But to create these, events and these spaces for people. And it's like, this is what we love to do. So if we can all work together and do it. Bonnaroo has always been like my music festival from 2012 and 2019. Those are still some of my closest friends and family. But then COVID happened, and then it was like, oh, we don't have Bonnaroo for 2 summers in a row. Like, what do we do? Because that's just what we did every June with 150 friends. Is we went to Bonnaroo from all over the country, and then it was like, never mind, we're not going to do this year. And then the following year is when it happened in September, and then it canceled, and then we all threw a music festival, like our friends. And it sounds like it was perfect and great. And then it ended, and it was like, we had one meeting, and it was like, oh no, like I knew it would never be the same after that. And that's kind of where, and that was also the time where I left my corporate job with Best Buy. And then I was like, hey, I'm not working for this toxic company for myself anymore. Like, I'm going to do what I love. And all of those things happened like right together. And my relationships and friendships and everyone that I'm closest with changed like drastically. So I feel like I'm in that period of like kind of like the loneliness, which it feels weird to say that because I do have lots of people who support me. But even with like Goddess Awakening and like my circle of most trusted people, it's like even just on Friday, like I had to remove myself from somebody because it didn't align with, like my goal isn't to sell 400 tickets to an event. It's to host a safe, fun, creative, beautiful space for people. So I feel like that resonated with me. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling that like loneliness a little bit. And some of my closest friends are literally in like Nashville, Tennessee, in Texas. So even within Oklahoma City, I'm like still trying to find my tribe. But I don't feel like Oklahoma is my like home, but I don't know where that is yet. So maybe that's part of this whole like transition for me.
Yep. Just settle into that loneliness and know that it ain't bad. It's just what it is. I found the most answers I was looking for in those quiet, lonely moments, and so if you find yourself there, just embrace where it's at, because what you're doing, I think, is just getting ready to leave one lifestyle and come into the next, or, close one door, open another. You have to go through those unsettling moments, I think. So yeah, I think we do well together, and I feel very blessed with what I have in my life. I worked really hard. I grew up in a family that was very dysfunctional, a lot of alcoholism and drug addiction and all the things. And I love family bonds. So I've just poured, and I don't have kids either, so I've just poured that nurturing side of myself into creating those family bonds with the people that I hold closest to me now. And I just think we work all around really well together because we have a vision, a bigger vision, and it's not money. Money's a part of it, and we've had to learn how to have the healthiest aspect around money or perspective towards money, so that we can keep providing the opportunities that we are. But again, at the end of the day, none of this is about money, and we just keep following our hearts together and just finding a crew of people that can feel comfortable and confident in following their heart and staying vulnerable and sticking with it and being diligent. I think that's how we've gotten where we've gotten with it all.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome space. And I love bringing people out to tribal roots who have not been. I'm like, hey, it's only a 2-hour drive. We just got to get on the road. It's straight up. And then we can get a cool Airbnb and you got to check this place out. And it's crazy too, because it's like either you've heard of tribal roots or you haven't at this point. And it's like, I'm telling people now about it. Then they're like, wait, what is this in Kansas? I'm like, yes, we're going to Kansas. We're going to go dance. And it's a great time. And every single person, I've never heard one person have anything like negative to say. Everyone just has a good experience because it's a great environment.
Yeah. I think they just don't expect what they're going to get into. But that's one of my favorite things is seeing new people come through the door and I get to experience the warehouse through their eyes for the first time over and over again. And that's cool for us because we forget we're there for every little thing, like the people producing movies. The movie's probably not as like epic to them as it is to somebody that wasn't a part of every little step of holding the boom mic and redoing this scene over and over and over where you kind of feel it lost the magic. It's like to us, we're just there every step of the way, learning everything, rearranging it, remaking it better, doing this, doing that. And I think we just forget to take a step back sometimes and say, holy crap, when people just walk into all of this all at once, they're probably pretty blown away by it. Like it is kind of crazy, but to us, it started with a treehouse, you know what I mean? And that's in the corner. Then we added the sign and then the columns and then this and then that. So yeah, it's really fun. It's like seeing little kids all over again. Like I feel like we do inspire the inner child to come out. And that's kind of that was the concept of Treehouse Camp, was to be in touch with your inner child. And I think that makes for some great relationships too. And then just the ceremony behind it all is real cool. Music in and of itself is ceremony, connection with people, ceremony, but then we actually would host ceremony all the time. And that was really fun, was around fire. Fire is our element. We would just tell people to come gather around and we would do like setting intentions and writing things out and burning them. But that grew into like holding space where people opened up and the things people would share in that ceremony space with everybody. That's like, it was such a powerful thing. And just, it made us feel like we were supposed to be doing this. Like this is what, because not a lot of people are willing to get vulnerable and open up. We're a very guarded society. And so I think that our crew gives people the permission to do that, to feel comfortable doing that. And it translated from camp to warehouse. And so when they come in, they're just like, you can't capture all this in pictures. And that's why, because there's way more intention behind it than just looking at this DJ playing on the stage. You know what I mean? Like this was all built up with ceremonial intentions, basically.
Yeah.
But yep, it's quite an experience.
So I was going to ask our lovely podcast hoster outside who is going to be doing the editing and things for us. She was like, what's a burner? So I wanted you to just tell us a little bit about what a burner is. Because I personally have not been to Burning Man. It's been on my bucket list forever. But I have some close friends that have been to Burning Man. So I'm familiar with kind of the concept, but just give us a little bit of perspective on what that means.
Well, that is kind of a good question. We were attracted to Burning Man because we seen it in a Don't Kill Me, Base Nectar video way back in the day.
It's okay. I like Base Nectar back in the day too. It's fine.
Yeah, it was just like all this fire and chaos and that kind of like end of the world stuff. So we're like, where is this? And we went out there and we were like, holy shit, what is this? And we weren't really even sure who we were and how we fit into any of it. That first burn, we weren't even going to come back because it was all such a struggle. But the struggle was within us. It healed a lot of things, pulled a lot of things out. And as we kept going, I don't know, the experiences defined what being a burner was. It's kind of hard to put in words, but it's an art community that comes together every year to build this experience up that isn't a festival, because it's not put on by just a group or two groups of people. It's every single person is a participant. There aren't spectators. Everybody brings something to offer. So it's like true community in that sense. Because if we didn't all come together, we'd have nothing, and it'd be the most crazy environment you've ever tried to survive in, right? But because of how we all work together to build this experience up in the desert, you have everything you could ever need, and it's all gifted, and there's principles that we all live by, kind of just naturally within ourselves. And I think that's why we all attract to each other out there. And it's been put into words. You can go to BurningMan.com and check out what the principles are. But it's just intentional community that, to me, is human ingenuity at its absolute finest. When you go out there, you just see what humans are capable of. And if we could just live this way for this moment in time, you just feel inspired. Like, why can't we live this way always? And not some dystopian nonsense, because it's a struggle. Most of it's a struggle. It's hardly any fun other than a little bit of fun, but it's kind of funny like that. But it's so much personal growth. So I don't know, burner is, and we come out there and burn effigies and stuff just as like ceremony, right? You just like let it go. You just release together. But a burner to me was just finding the creative voice inside myself in a community that loves to share it together and live by some set of principles with each other, and creates for just like a pretty amazing space and time to get to be a part of. One that obviously I love so much. We love so much. We take it into our everyday lives and try to share it with others. And I think that I've accomplished what I want with my life in that sense. I get people all the time coming up to us, oh my God, this is so inspiring. I want to get into this, or I want to do that. And it's like, yes, go find the creator in you, because we're all creators. And if you don't think so, you've just lost your voice. We're here to help you find that. You know what I mean? Come get inspired by other humans and see just how amazing everybody can be. But it's just, words are hard for that answer. It's an experience than anything, but
yeah. What years did you guys go?
We started in 2010 was our first year. And then I think our last one was 2018. We went to 8 of them out of those years. I think we skipped maybe like 2015 and 17 or something like that. Maybe those years we stopped to go, because I was like, all right, all we keep doing is these. Let's go experience some festivals or something, because let's not get stuck on one thing. And we went to Shambhala and Sonic Bloom. And,
I love Sonic Bloom. R.I.P.
And Envision. And all those festivals are really badass. Shambhala and Envision were hands down just like untouchable festivals. Super amazing what those people have done on the beaches of Costa Rica, and then in Canada. It's just like the nature with those experiences, the two coming together. It's just like, I don't know, it does something for my soul. I can't really like put into words either.
Yeah, Shambhala is definitely on my bucket list. Definitely.
Their art and the way they build up, because that's the thing for them, is that they don't have to take it down after the end of the layer up on the experience. So what they've done with that is just like incredible. It's kind of unbelievable. The village is something else. But after that, we were just like, it's awesome, but it's not Burning Man.
Yeah.
You know, so we ended up going back to the Burn. And now I don't know if I'll chase festivals anymore, because I go to so many of them for work.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is there any festival that you're like still wanting to do, like experience?
I haven't made it to Dirty Bird, which because music and dance, and I want to just make me dance the whole time. I really, really want to go to Dirty Bird, and always have.
Yep, that one seems fun.
Desert Hearts would be a really good one. What else? That's probably honestly about all that comes to mind on on any festivals that I can think of. Somebody told me that I should check out Electric Forest. I think I could probably potentially have an appreciation for it based on that they said it's a lot of art, kind of like Burning Man.
So how long have you guys been together?
This July will be 19 years.
Wow. That's awesome. That's a long time. It's a long time.
Very long time. I think the key for us has been, because we had a rough start just based on lifestyle choices in the beginning there. But I think the key is just continuing to have fun together and not let life get too serious, even though it does. You have to set the time aside to continue to feel inspired. So he has a lot of thoughts all the time. Like his brain's working all the time. So I hear all those thoughts for 18 years. I finally had to move my office downstairs. I was like, all right, look, if I'm going to get any of my work done, I have to have my own space where you cannot come in and disrupt me. But I'm in his office right now, so that's my fault.
Yeah, that's nice. We have one space where we share, but it's kind of like our studio / office / craft room. So eventually we'll need to separate a few of those things.
I get it. It's just, it's hard to know. It's like I need one of those signs that flip and say, I'm not taking thoughts right now.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm usually the one with the lots of thoughts.
I haven't. You talk a lot, but I don't know. We live, work, and play together. We do all the things. There is no separation of time or space in our life, which probably makes a lot of people think, what? How do you do that? But somehow it works. We do actually do incredibly well with it all. But I did learn that I needed some room for my own brain sometimes. So that was the biggest thing over the last couple of years, going through all these startup businesses. I was just like, man, I need to be able to think with no interference, like no disruption. Like my brain has been fragmented between all the different things we've had to learn to where I don't feel like very efficient anymore. I feel like I need to refocus, but I don't know how to do it because everything's a priority and all at once, like every priorities. And then your personal life has to have priorities. And I was like, I don't know how to prioritize all the things all at once. But I'm learning for myself, taking more time for myself to clear my mind is what I need. And so long as I do that, like we get along pretty well. Food trucking would be so hot. Like it'd be like 104 out and the stove is 400 degrees and there's no AC in it, basically. So if he came near me and even touched me, I'd be like, get away.
That's fair. That's hot. Well, I'm excited about the food truck to come back.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Like so many people in our city miss us. And it is sad. I used to do hair too. And it's like you build up all these people in your life that you create connections with through those career paths. And yeah, like closing down the food truck, that was sad in those ways. Like we have a really good vegan community surrounding us here. And even not vegans, like we made food that everybody just loved, you know what I mean? And that was kind of the whole point, was we didn't want people who wanted to maybe make the lifestyle change to get overwhelmed with a lack of options or feeling like they have to sacrifice everything that they love flavor-wise or taste-wise. It's like that was the gap we filled here for a while. So it was very grueling, taxing work on my body. I got to the point I literally couldn't do the dehydration that it was bringing me anymore. But that was some of the work that gave me the most fulfilling, like the most fulfillment out of it, I guess, was just feeling like I nourished people and gave them an outlet that provided an opportunity they might not have had here otherwise. Because it was a hard city when we started. Like the word vegan was barely even put out there at that time. So, and it's kind of like everything we do, like, oh, you're not going to do that. That's not going to do good. No one's going to, well, we're going to do it anyways. So we did. It was fun. He was into the like finding like a trolley and turning it into a food truck. Then we'd work out of it a couple years, make some money that way, and then flip it. And put the profit into the next one. Build a double-decker food bus. That was a real fun one. People sat at the top, and then we cooked.
So cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool. It's just been fun providing different experiences for people, whatever we're up to, you know. But our city misses that. We actually had a lot of people coming through from coast to coast saying that they was traveling through and they can't believe they found this option, and oh my God, they can't believe it's like better than Portland options. And that always blew my mind too, because I'm like, no way, that's the vegan mecca of the country. Like, can't possibly think this is that good. But we always got a lot of like positivity from that experience. And when we started it, I didn't think we would. I thought we'd have a lot of hate against what it was, you know, because that word scares people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. So we're going to Germany for like 10 days. We come back for like 36 hours. And then we're going back to California to go to a retreat. And it's a retreat that I've been to. This will be my third one, but Brian's first. And our chef is coming back from the last one, and she's amazing. But we eat raw vegan the whole time.
Nice.
And I am so excited to go back. First of all, eat the German food for sure. Going to do all of that. And then I'm going to go eat the raw vegan food. And she has all kinds of like cookbooks and things too. So she like really inspired me after the first time around, but now to get to go with my partner and have him experience, like you said, like, hey, it's vegan, but it doesn't have to like have no flavor. Like it actually tastes good and you can make it pretty and cute. Nice cream, the banana ice cream she taught us to make is like delicious, and he loved that. And there's no sugar, you know, it's bananas and whatever flavors you want. So I'm really excited to have him be inspired, and then we can come back and like I feel like our lifestyle is gonna like totally change for the better when we get back from that trip.
Heck yeah, it's nice to be around inspiring chefs. That I had a mentor that somehow, I don't know, right when we were thinking about opening up the food truck, a vegan business opened up here, the first one, and the chef, his name's Miguel. He has culinary experience from all over the world, and he made vegan versions of all these things. So he just opened my mind to so many new things, and right in the nick of time. But yeah, he helped us pretty tremendously on our journey to do that. And we did a lot of like the raw vegan stuff there in the beginning, not as like the diet we were going to settle on, but we had to detox from our previous lifestyle when we had a lifestyle change. We took out all the chemicals and actually took out all the processed foods for a while and just cleansed our body. I was literally like glowing gold specks, like gold shimmer lotion is what it looked like I had on, just from, and doing hot yoga too, like sweating it all out. So just getting all the things out of our body, right? So I had never felt better in my life when I was able to live in accordance to that mostly. But that's just a hard thing to stay on top of, the raw vegan life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
just even like supplement now and then, or just get as much fresh raw foods in as you can all the time. You know, it's better than nothing. But yes. it's hard to do that.
Yeah, I've been watching all kinds of documentaries to like show me like, yeah, you probably don't want to be eating those things because they're really terrible for you.
It's one thing when people try to tell you, oh, that's not healthy for you. That doesn't really stick. It's like you might go try that for a little bit, but unless you have the education behind why you should make these choices, that's just what really stuck for me and Shay. We went through this time period where we took all the cable and internet. We had nothing at our house and totally detoxed from that as well, and only subjected ourselves to the information that we wanted to learn about, and food was definitely one of them. And yeah, when you go learn the things, it's pretty easy to want to like pull that stuff out of your body, especially like mine came from losing my mom to cancer. So like what stuck with me most is like, oh, I don't ever want to be put in this position to feel whatever she just went through and be in those choices that she had to make. And yeah, I just never wanted to be in that position. So I went on this journey to figure out how in the heck I can, to the best of my ability, change that outcome, you know, and also turn my mom's death into something that was a little more meaningful than just cancer took her and that was that. It's like, so she ain't here today, but if she could know, like, the way my life is and my health and my overall well-being and the things I'm doing with my life, it's because she lost hers at too young of an age that I just wanted to like make sure that wasn't in vain. So I'm living my best life because she went through what she did, you know. It made it an easier choice, because a whole lifestyle change is really hard to do without something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, this has been a lot of fun, and I have lots more things to talk about, but we're going to have a part 2, it sounds like. What shows do you guys have coming up at Tribal Roots?
Let's see. We have our next one is Rafiki, and it's going to be like a multi-genre. It's going to be techno, drum and bass, house, some bass. Cool. That one should be real fun. Lots of good energy. We have, I don't know if we've announced the one. We're having to work on one because there's another big one in Kansas City at the time that's been released. So I think we're going to be switching that one out. And I don't know, I think we're down to like 5 or so more. My brain can't think about what.
There's more shows. You got to catch them before. And then you guys have a pool party happening in June, right?
Yes. So that one's going to be super fun. That's at High Tide near Topeka, Kansas. And that's very limited tickets. I think like 200, and they already are going fast. So I'm pretty excited for that one. Our outdoor events are always really fun. They're my favorite. The warehouse is just so much responsibility, and not that the outdoor ones aren't, but it just feels different being in the city with all that responsibility versus like on some property, you know what I mean? Out from the city, it just helps a lot. But, yeah, we have that one coming up, and we usually have like a private pool party fundraiser one that helps us raise money for art, so we can update that through the years. We've been working on lineups, but they keep getting pushed to the fall, so I can't really name any of those right now. But I will say they just keep getting better and better. Like, we got a really solid year ahead of us after this break coming up.
Well, awesome. I'm excited. I know there's one show that we're coming to. I didn't remember who it is, but whatever. It's going to be fun. It's the bass night.
We're dropping today, too.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Right now. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will. How do we find Tribal Roots?
We have Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Just Tribal Roots on all those.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll drop the link with the episode as well, so people can find you guys and come check it out. Well, it was really awesome talking to you today.
Sorry if I seem a little spacey.
No, I thought it was great.
The Mondays after events, it's usually my day to just like let my brain rest after hosting so much. But
well, you can rest now. Yes, it was great talking to you. And I'm going to Germany after this, so this will be our last podcast for a few weeks, and I think it'll be a good one.
I hope you have the time of your life and get exactly what you need from the experience. I'm excited for you. Thank you. Yep.
I'm not getting a cell phone plan while I'm there. I'm just going to have Wi-Fi when it's available, and everybody else can wait. Well, have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.
You too. Take it easy.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Goddess Awakening. Check out our Linktree in the description for all our socials and upcoming events. This podcast is brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.